Okay. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm hoping this works out. Welcome to a 30-minute low-impact cardio HIIT workout. I'm going to adjust my camera in just a second so you can see my whole body. We're going to get started with our workout. I'm so glad you clicked play, and I'm so glad you're here. I have a workout structure. I may have to refer to my notes. So let me get us started. What is a good... We need a little bit less. There we go. Hang on. Let me get adjusted. This is a live stream, so here we go. I think you can see that. We can see that, can't we? Yes, we can. Okay. You don't need to see my head for this. This is not. Okay. So here we go. I've got my little recorder here that's going to mark off our intervals. You don't need any equipment for this workout. Just work out with me. Let's go for it. Let's warm up first. First, we're warming up.
Begin workout.
See, begin workout. We're just marching in place. That's all, just marching in place. We're just warming up, first of all. Each of our intervals is 1 minute long. The structure of this workout today is a 5-minute warm-up with 5 warm-up exercises, 1 minute each. Then there are 6 high intensity intervals that we'll do. Each of them is 1 minute long with a 2-minute recovery interval afterwards. This workout you can modify any way you like. You do not need any equipment, no dumbbells, no mat. You just need some comfy clothes to work out in. And the good thing about this workout is you're not doing any one thing for too long. So after our warm-up and after our cardio, there will be a cool down.
Total time 1 minute.
And then we'll do a stretch. So that's 1 minute. Now we're going to step to the side and have our arms engaged with it. So instead of just up and down movement, now we're going side to side laterally. Now, if this movement is getting your heart rate up too fast, you can take it a little bit lower, do a shorter range of motion. You can even go a lot slower than I'm going. I want you to do the workout that your body needs. Everything in this workout can be absolutely modified. And we're going to talk about modification the whole time. So we're doing a step touch to the side for just 1 minute. Now the warm-up is just designed to get our heart rates up. We don't want to start our high intensity intervals with our muscles cold and our heart rates low, because you can injure yourself that way, and we don't want that.
Total time 2 minutes.
Okay, so now we're going to step, tap, and reach to the side. So tap your toe on the ground, reach to the side. Get a nice twist in your torso here. We're moving in another plane of motion now. If you need more of a warm-up, you can bend those knees, activate those legs. Reach. If this is too much for you, we're just warming up. Now, you should not be out of breath. You should not be really struggling. If you're struggling, take it down a little bit. Do a shorter range of motion. Go slower. If you need more, activate it. We want, in 5 minutes, we want to bring our heart rate up, get our blood pumping, and be ready for that first high intensity interval, which, can I remember what I said we were going to do for the first one? I may have to look at my sheet.
Total time 3 minutes.
Okay, we're warming up. Now let's do hamstring curls. So just bring knees down and just curl your heels up to your butt. I'm barefoot today, by the way. I suggest you wear shoes when you work out. I'm not wearing shoes today because the taps are really, really loud. And I want you to be able to hear me because I don't have a microphone or anything. There's no slick graphics today. There's no expensive equipment. This is just us working out. So use your hands to reach forward and pull back. And again, if you're gasping for breath, we're not there yet. Take smaller movements. Take smaller movements. If you need more, bend those legs, bend those knees, get into this movement. There we go. After this, we have 1 more minute of our warm-up. Reach and pull. Get those shoulders warmed up. Get that chest warmed up.
Total time 4 minutes.
There we go. Okay, now let's bring our knees up. Opposite hand to opposite knee. Bringing our knees up. You should be feeling your heart rate rising up just a little bit. Having to breathe a little bit more deeply. This is our last warm-up interval. Let me remind myself, hang on, what we're doing for our first one. Oh yeah, step behind and high reach. Our very first high intensity interval is next. So after this warm-up, on the next interval, we want to hit it as hard as we can. And as hard as you personally can. I don't want you, if you're a beginner to exercise, don't try to do what I'm doing. Modify it, go slower, decrease your range of motion, get yourself to your own level. So any minute now, we're going to start that high intensity interval, which is going to be a step behind with a high reach.
Total time 5 minutes.
I'll show you. Okay, so we're reaching up and down, and our legs are going behind each other. It's not a step touch, it's a step behind. It's a step behind. Let's see if I can get back so I can show you. And reach up and down, up and down. This engages the obliques. So we're getting the side of the body here. We're getting our legs and our hips involved. Keep your stomach engaged. Imagine your belly button going back to your spine. With everything that we do here, we want to keep our core engaged. You may not feel that you can engage your core. You may not have a very strong core. That's okay. We'll build it. Just become aware of this. So if you need it a little bit lower intensity, take that lower intensity, but you should start breathing harder now. You should be requiring more oxygen with this
interval. Total time 6 minutes.
Okay, march in place. That was 1 minute of a high intensity interval. We've got 5 more like that. And now we're going to take just 2 minutes to recover. This is sort of a beginner level cardio workout in that we have a shorter working interval than we have a longer recovery time than we're working. The fitter you are, the more your fitness increases. You're going to want to take longer working intervals and shorter recovery times. And one of the things that happens when you increase your cardiovascular endurance and your fitness is that it takes your body less time to recover. So what we're doing during these recovery intervals is breathing, letting our breathing rate resume to more of a normal rate. We want our heart rate to go back down, not all the way down.
Total time 7 minutes.
Okay, we've got 1 more minute of recovery. So all I'm doing is marching in place. If you're still gasping for breath, if your heart rate is still through the roof right now, take it a little bit slower. Take it a little bit lower. Don't lift your knees as much. But if you want more cardio and you're okay, and your heart rate's coming down, you can lift those knees up. You can work this interval. Our next interval is going to be a side kick to each side and then a punch punch. And again, you do that as fast or as slow as you need to do it. You're not doing my workout, you're doing your workout. I'm just sort of guiding what exercises to do during the workout. So it's just about time. Our recovery is just about over. And it's time to work again. Yay! So side kick, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to do a very good
Total
side
time
kick.
8 minutes.
There you go. So you want a side kick, punch, punch, side kick, punch, punch, side kick, punch, punch, side kick, punch, punch. If this is too much, bring your side kicks down. Side kick, punch, punch, side kick, punch, punch. Or go slower, punch, punch, side kick, punch, punch. If you're dying, now if you've got it in you, go faster. Do not injure yourself. Keep your core engaged. This is where you really want to keep, I'm forgetting my punches. This is where you really want to keep your stomach in, belly button to spine. Don't let your back sag like this and your booty stick out. Don't do that. Keep that back nice and straight. Kick, Get that guy, get that guy, punch that guy, get that guy, get that guy.
Total time 9 minutes.
Okay, recover. That was it. That was 1 minute. You did it. You did it. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you had to take a break. That's fine. You're doing your workout. So take a break, adjust your shirt, adjust your pants. Take a deep breath. Again, we're not cooling down completely during our recovery. All we're doing is taking it from up high to somewhere in the middle. When we are working out, I want you to think in terms of rate of perceived exertion, RPE, on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you? With 1 is like you're sitting on the couch, and 10 is you're having a heart attack and need to be taken to the ER. We don't ever want to get to all the way to 10. So as you're in your recovery, you want to be somewhere.
Total time 10 minutes.
Got 1 more minute of recovery. We want to be somewhere around 5 or 6 at our recovery, which means you're working at a nice moderate pace. Your heart rate's higher than if you were just like walking to the mailbox. Your breathing rate is a little bit deeper than it would be, again, if you're just walking around a store somewhere, going to the grocery store. So you've got a little bit more of an exertion level, but you're not up there at any higher than a 7. When we get to our intervals, which one am I doing next? Hang on. Oh, double hamstring curls with a high reach. Yes. Double hams with a high. I got to watch out that I don't kick this thing back here behind me for that one. When we get into our high intensity intervals, you want to take that up above a 7, somewhere around a 7 or an 8. 8 is a great place to be during your high intensity intervals. So get your heart rate up there, get your breathing up there, get to a point where it's at an 8. You could go
Total
harder,
time 11 minutes.
but you don't want to. So double hamstring curl with a reach up. So instead, during the warm-up, we reached out in front of us. Now we're reaching up. And go as fast as you can without injuring yourself. So bring that heel up to your butt twice. 1, 2, reach up. 1, 2, reach up. 1, 2. This is getting all of your shoulders, your lats, your chest and your back, activating your hamstrings. Again, depending on your fitness level, if you need to slow it down, then slow it down. If you need to bring it out here, bringing your arms above your head really lifts up that heart rate. That's one of the things that brings your heart rate up when you're exercising, is when you bring those arms up. So if you're dying, if you're up above that 8 in the rate of perceived exertion, then you want to bring it down a little bit. Bring it down here.
Total time 12 minutes.
There we go. That's it. We're done with that interval. That's all. Adjust yourself. Breathe. March in place. March in place. Now, if your fitness level is a little higher and you're hitting this workout and you want to take your working interval a little bit longer, you can keep going with that working portion until you hear until you hear me say that we're halfway through the recovery. And then you'll be doing 2 minutes of work and 1 minute of recovery, which is a lot more of a cardio workout. But again, that's if you're there. That's another way to modify this workout. So again, the ways that we modify this workout is we shorten our range of motion or increase our range of motion, depending on your rate of perceived exertion. We increase our speed or we decrease our speed, again, depending on your rate of perceived exertion. During the recovery intervals, we want to be somewhere
Total
between
time
5 and
13
7.
minutes.
There we go. We're halfway through this recovery interval. And next step is, what are we doing next? Oh yeah, we're doing high kicks next. We're doing kicks with opposite hand. There we go. So during the working intervals, we want to get that heart rate up above a 7, like a 7 or an 8. 8 would be perfect. And learn how your body is exerting itself. Listen to your body. Start discovering those places where you can push yourself just a little bit more without injury, but you can push yourself just a little bit harder. You'll find them, you'll know. And again, if the recovery intervals, if doing this is too much, take it down a little bit more. Take it down a little bit more. If you're pushing yourself to your edges, then we're doing the same workout, even if my edges are a little bit farther out than yours. We're doing the same thing. We are pushing ourselves to the next level. And that is
Total
what this is
time
all
14
about.
minutes.
Okay, now high kicks. Oh, you get to see the bottoms of my dirty feet now. So arms up and opposite hand to opposite foot. This, with your arms up, brings your heart rate up. And with your feet, your legs way out, again, keep your core in. You don't want to get sloppy with this. You don't want to move your spine too much. Keep your spine nice and straight. Keep your core engaged. Again, slow it down if you need to slow down. Shorten your range of motion if you need to shorten your range of motion. If you need to go lower because your heart rate is through the roof, then go lower. If your kicks need to be lower, that's fine. Your kicks can be lower. But if you've got it in you, get those arms up, cowgirl. Kick those legs out. This is really going to work those hip flexors. This is working your core. This is working your quads. This is working your entire shoulder girdle.
Total time 15 minutes.
And there you go, we're done. That's it for that. We have one working interval left and then we cool down. So let's recover for 2 minutes. Breathe. Breathing deeply is so important when you're working out because it's that oxygen exchange, which is where your body burns your stored fat. Your muscles need oxygen to burn that fuel, and the waste product of that is the carbon dioxide. So breathe in and breathe out. And that breathing in and breathing out helps that oxygen exchange. It brings oxygen to all of those muscles in your body and helps them burn that fuel. We burned off sugars in the beginning of this workout, but we're at the portion now where our body is tapping into whatever fat stores we have, because your body stores fat as extra fuel. So
Total
you
time
may,
16 minutes.
okay, we only have one more minute of recovery. You may have a little bit of extra fuel stored on your body that you want your body to burn off. That's what this is all about. That's what we are doing, is we are working hard enough with enough gas exchange, with enough elevated heart rate that our bodies tap into those fuel stores and burns off some of that extra fuel that we're carrying around with us. Because you may not want to carry all that extra fuel around with you all the time. You know, you might want to burn some of that off. That's what we're doing. Okay. The next is going to be the toughest interval yet. It's my favorite because I saved my favorite for last. So we're going to do 1 minute of double knees. Double knees with a nice high reach. Again, that's going to get those arms up in the air. And the double knees up is really going to get the heart rate up. Modify, modify, modify.
Total time 17 minutes.
So here we go. Double knee. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you've got it in you, bring those arms all the way up and bring the knee all the way up. Going to the side like this, you're activating your obliques and your entire core. Again, the hip flexors, hamstrings, and glutes. Everything is working here. Your whole body is working. Get it. If you got it in you, go faster. Go faster. Get it. If you need to slow it down, slow it down. If your heart rate is through the roof, don't die. Get yourself up to a nice 8 in our rate of perceived exertion. It should be difficult for you to have a conversation at that point. You should have a hard time talking to me or cussing me out, whatever you're doing. Like, see, I'm having a little, you can tell my breathing rate and my heart
Total
rate
time 18
are
minutes.
up, and that's it. We're cooling down. What are we doing for cool down again? Oh, let's do one knee tap. We're going to do the warm-up that we did, but we're doing it in reverse. Breathe. Everybody breathe. I say everybody like there's 50 people in your house with you working out right now. I don't know. You might have a buddy working out besides me. So do not skip this part. Do not click off the video yet. The cool down is just as important as the warm-up. The cool down helps your heart rate return to normal. It helps improve the venous return of blood to your heart so that blood doesn't pool in your extremities. It helps prevent injuries. It helps with a lot of things. It just brings your body back to that nice low level. So what we're doing here is
Total time 19 minutes.
Okay, what are we doing now? Oh yeah, hamstring curls, but not high energy anymore. Bringing it down. Just bring that heel up to the butt. Bring that heel up to your booty. And breathe. Take some nice deep breaths. And again, depending on your fitness level, if this is still too much, if your heart rate is still through the roof, then don't bring your heel all the way to the butt. Just lift up your heel a little bit in the back. Slow it down. Decrease your range of motion. You do what you have to do. We're cooling ourselves down now. Next is going to be the step touch with the side reach. We're just doing the warm up in reverse order. It's 5 minutes of cooling down. Anytime you do a lot of heavy cardio activity, you want to make sure that you warm yourself up.
Total time 20
About
minutes.
5 minutes, step, tap, reach to the side. Get a twist in that torso. And you also make sure, especially if your heart rate has gone up significantly, you want to make sure that you cool down. Deep breath, deep breaths. Again, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, and reach. Reach to the wall, reach to the wall, reach to the wall, reach to the wall. Just doing everything for 1 minute. That's all we're doing. Next is going to be a step touch side to side, bringing down the intensity, bringing down the heart rate, still moving. Breathing. You should be feeling your heart rate coming back to normal by now. You should not be totally out of breath. Your breath
Total time 21 minutes.
Your breath may be a little bit, your respiration rate may still be a little bit more elevated than normal. That's okay. Heart rate may still be a little bit elevated more than normal. If you have a heart rate monitor, you can check on that. This again, just a little bit. We're not killing it. We're not getting it. We are cooling down. Next, we're going to have 1 minute of marching in place before we stretch. There we go. And I'm going to change the timer to 30 seconds. We're going to do 30-second stretches instead of 1 minute intervals. So here we go. We're about to march in place. And when we march in place, I want you to take deep breaths with your arms up in the air. We're going to sweep our arms up over our head to take deep breaths. That helps us get a deeper breath, actually. Remember like in the 80s and 90s
Total time
aerobics?
22 minutes.
80s and 90s aerobics, they'd be like, deep breath. That actually does help you breathe more deeply. There are little teeny tiny muscles here in your neck that attach to your top two ribs. And when you lift your arms over your head, they lift your ribs up and give your lungs more space to inflate. See if you can tell the difference. With your arms down, take a deep breath. And now with your arms up. Feel the difference? I love that. I love it so much. So let me change my intervals to, I'm going to pause here for a second. Workout pause. Keep going though. You keep going. I'm changing my voice feedback to every 30 seconds. There we go. Resume. Workout resume.
Total time 22 minutes and 42 seconds.
We've done good today. You have done your workout. It's been almost 23 minutes. And I may have to adjust this a little bit so we can see the lower body here a little bit better and my dirty floors. So we're going to start off with a calf
Total
stretch.
time 23 minutes.
Okay. Start off with a calf stretch. One leg in front. This is the leg that's going to support your body weight. Heel down. You can't see my heel, but it's down on the floor. Straight line from your heel all the way up to the top of your head. Support your weight on your front leg. If you have to, you should feel the weight, the stretch in the calf of that back leg. So keep your heel pressed down. If you need a deeper stretch, step
Total
back
time 23 minutes and 30 seconds.
Step that leg in just a little bit and bring the heel up so your toe is on the ground. Bend this back knee and tuck your hips forward. You should feel a stretch weight is still mostly on this front leg, but you should now feel the stretch in your hip flexor and in the front quad of that back leg. So your heel is not down on the ground anymore. You brought it in a little bit, you bent that leg, and tucking that pelvis underneath you, and you should feel that stretch right
Total time
here.
24 minutes.
Okay. Now your weight's on this back leg, toes up. You're going to put your heel down, hinge at your hips. Don't lean forward like this. Hinge at your hips and bring your back forward until you feel the stretch on the back of this front leg. You should feel it in the hamstring of the front leg. Don't lock your knee. Keep it nice and soft. But we're now stretching out that hamstring. We're going to do all these 3 stretches on the other side in just a second.
Total time 24 minutes
Okay,
and 30 seconds.
Now we're doing the calf stretch. Let me see if you can see my feet a little bit more. There we go. So all of your weight in that front leg, back heel down, straight line from your heel to your head. You can rest the weight of your body on this front leg if you need to. And you should feel the stretch in that back calf. Breathe. Stretch that back calf.
Total time 25 minutes.
Bring it in a little bit and bring the heel up, knee bent, tuck the pelvis under so that you feel the stretch in the hip flexor and the quad of that back leg. Again, most of your weight is in the front leg at this point. Stretch that quad, stretch that hip flexor, body up nice and tall. Breathe. Your breathing should be coming back to normal. We're going to do that.
Total time 25 minutes and 30 seconds.
And now weight is on the back leg, knee bent, toes up, heel down. Hinge at your back. Don't arch your back one way or another. Just keep a nice flat back, shoulders rounded, booty out, and lean over until you should feel the stretch in the hamstring of that front leg. Again, don't lock the knee out. Keep it nice and soft, but bend over. If your stretch is right here and you feel it in the hamstring, then stretch here. You don't have to stretch as far down.
Total time 26 minutes.
Okay, now we're going to stretch out our chest. Here we go. So clasp your hands behind you to stretch out your chest. Now, if you cannot reach your hands behind you, you can still stretch your chest out. It'll just take you a little bit longer. Hold on to a door frame. I've got my exercise bike over here. And turn your body as much as you can until you feel the stretch in that chest. And then hold on to something. Do it on the other side.
Total time 26 minutes and 30 seconds.
So what you're doing is that chest stretch. You're just not clasping your hands behind you. Now let's do the back. So now we round our backs. Clasp your hands in front of you and bend, tuck that pelvis under. Push those shoulders forward. You should feel this stretch all along your shoulder blades in the back. Yes. Feels so good. I love stretching.
Total time 27 minutes.
Okay. That was less than 30 minutes.
Workout pause.
Workout paused. We did it. We did it. Yay. Well, you did it. You did this work. I'm so glad that you joined me today. That was our workout. Warm up, high intensity cardio, cool down, and a stretch. You can do this workout. 6 days a week if you like, and see as your fitness level improves, you can hit those intervals a little bit harder, and you can even do them a little bit longer. So thank you for joining me today. Let me find out how to end this video, and I'll see y'all next time.